Hello fans of the dark and macabre, welcome back to Planet Phobia, your one-stop shop for horror talk. In today's video, we'll take a look at 5 amazing horror movies you can watch on Tubi today. Everything from zombies to vampires, freaks, and everything in between. Stay tuned, here we go. Host is a 2020 British independent supernatural horror film. This one follows a group of friends who are on COVID-19 lockdown in London. Friends Haley, Gemma, Radina, Emma, Caroline, and Teddy join a weekly Zoom call that all the friends have been doing to stay in touch. For some reason, Haley thinks it would be a good idea for the group to participate in a seance that is led by a medium named Salem. She emphasizes that they should not disrespect the spirits, and for some reason, Haley is the only one to take this seriously. From here, the movie breaks down into paranormal madness. At just an hour long, this movie is sure to keep your attention. And with all the different camera angles cutting in and out, looking at all the different friends and what's happening to them, this one really is a good watch. For those of us that remember the pandemic and being stuck on our computer and Zoom calls, this one will ring true to a lot of people. If you like internet horror and paranormal shenanigans, this is the movie for you. Fire up Tubi and check this one out today. Beneath is a fun title that's recently been added to Tubi. This movie has some confusion around it because there was another movie that came out the same year called Beneath, which is more of a creature feature. However, this movie is set in an underground coal mine. This movie opens with a man getting ready to retire after years of toiling away in the coal mines. His daughter shows back up to her hometown to help celebrate his retirement at the local bar, with him and the other miners. So right off the bat with the opening scene, it seems like a bad omen. I mean, who celebrates their retirement the day before their last day and gets shit-faced? Well, my friends, that's exactly what happens in this movie. And after a little liquid courage, the daughter decides, hey, I'm gonna go work with my old man on his final day. As the miners enter the mine shaft, everything is going fine and they try to help the daughter, showing her the ropes and keeping her safe. Everything is fine until all of a sudden there's a collapse in the mine. The collapse has uncovered a strange cavern that connects to a tunnel system that was once occupied by a 1920s mining crew. The story goes that they were trapped underground over 100 years ago, and they all went insane, killing each other until nobody was left. But the bodies have never been found. Once the crew enters this tunnel, strange paranormal experiences start to plague them. The paranoia seen in this movie is a great blend of psychological and survival horror. Beneath may not be a masterclass in horror, but if you've seen just about everything else and you're looking for something that does keep your attention and is truly scary, give this one a watch on Tubi today. The Forsaken is a turn-of-the-century vampire flick. This movie opens with an aspiring filmmaker named Sean, who is tasked with driving an expensive Mercedes-Benz from Los Angeles to the owner in Miami. Here, Sean picks up a hitchhiker named Nick. Soon we find out that Nick isn't who he appears to be and is actually a vampire hunter. He is looking for one of the original vampires known as the Forsaken. The origin story with these ones are pretty interesting, where a group of knights made a pact with the fallen angel Abaddon to live forever, but by doing so they had to drink the blood of their comrades. Nick is on a cocktail of drugs that keeps the vampire curse at bay. He believes if he can track down Kit, one of the original Forsaken vampires, he can be rid of the curse. During all this, they run into a young girl named Megan who they find at a diner. She too has been plagued by the vampire curse. An interesting side note I found while researching this video is that actress Isabella Mico, who plays Megan in this movie, also starred in the Mr. Brightside music video by The Killers. So The Forsaken has a horrible Rotten Tomato score, and it won't be for everybody. But I went back and watched it for the first time in a long time, and I had fun with it. If you're looking for some gory action, and if you like vampire flicks, go ahead and check this one out today. Next up is The Return of the Living Dead, a horror classic that everyone should watch, bringing the punk rock, the horror, and the comedy all in one. This movie opens on July 3rd, 1984 outside the Uneeda Medical Supply Warehouse in Louisville, Kentucky. Here, Frank tries to impress new employee Freddy by showing him military drums of toxic gas called trioxin. After accidentally releasing the gas, all hell breaks loose as cadavers start to come back to life. From here, we meet the local mortician and the punk rockers trying to have a good time out in the cemetery. This one brings a strange twist to the zombies, as they can speak and seem to have some intelligence. Stay tuned in this one to see if the likable main characters can survive the zombie outbreak, or if it's too late for everyone. I gotta say, this is definitely a classic and worth a watch. If you've been a horror fan for years, this one might be on the top of your list of favorite movies, or at least favorite zombie movies. But if you're new to the game or just haven't had a chance to watch this one, go ahead and watch it on Tubi. I highly recommend it. Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton team up for what might be their least known title, Castle Freak. This one was directed by Stuart Gordon. After inheriting a 12th century castle which belonged to a famed duchess in Italy, John Riley and his wife Susan and their blind teenage daughter Rebecca travel to Italy to visit. Susan blames John for the death of their 5-year-old son in a drunk driving crash that also cost their daughter her eyesight. The three plan to go to the castle and liquidate the estate. Little do they know that the Duchess's son, who was imprisoned and tortured by the Duchess, still lives in the dungeons of the castle. In this one, we watch as the father slowly loses his mind. He still harbors sadness from the loss of his son, knowing that it was his fault driving the vehicle drunk. One night, he finally gives in to his temptations and has a drink, and also orders a prostitute. As the two go into the bowels of the castle to have a good time, the Castle Freak makes his appearance. This dude is a nasty-looking freak show. After killing and eating a cat, he finds the prostitute and disfigures her. This has some of the worst torture scenes I've seen in a while. When the maid discovers the prostitute still living, she is also murdered by the Castle Freak. Once the news hits the town that the prostitute is still missing, all the suspicion falls on John. We watch as he tries to clear his name and protect his family from the Castle Freak. Can John redeem himself and save his family, or are they all cursed to stay in the castle forever? Well, there we have it, horror fans, another deep dive into Tubi. Today we covered some movies from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. A nice mix with a little something for everybody. If you like this content, check out some of my other videos. Until next time, this is Planet Phobia signing off, and as always, wishing you good luck on your horror journey.